What if I told you that some people are making more from their side hustle than they make from their full-time job? And what if those people started just 6 months ago? In 2026, the barrier to entry for wealth building has completely shattered. You no longer need a trust fund, connections, or even a business degree to create multiple income streams. But here's the thing, not all side hustles are created equal. Some are trendy noise that'll fade in 3 months. Others are legitimate wealth builders that are working right now. Today, I'm showing you 5 side hustles that are actually making people rich in 2026, with real numbers, real people, and real strategies you can implement this week. Let's be honest. The traditional advice is broken. Work hard, get good grades, get a job, retire at 65. That strategy doesn't build wealth anymore. It barely builds security. The S&P 500 is sitting at 741.75 today. The Dow is up 3.2% this month. And the news cycle is dominated by Elon Musk becoming the world's first trillionaire thanks to the SpaceX IPO hitting a $2.1 trillion valuation. How did that happen? Multiple income streams, strategic investments, thinking differently. You don't need to be a billionaire to apply that same principle to your life. A study from the New York Times recently highlighted that Americans aren't becoming more financially savvy. They're actually getting worse at managing money. That means there's a massive opportunity gap right now. While most people are stuck in analysis paralysis, the people who are winning are moving. They're building side hustles. They're stacking income. They're compounding their wealth. In 2026, with AI tools at your fingertips, economic uncertainty creating demand for alternative income, and the gig economy matured and reliable, side hustles have evolved from extra cash to serious money. Okay, let's start with the first one, and this is probably the most accessible right now: AI-powered content creation and digital products. Here's the reality. You don't need a camera crew, a podcast studio, or years of experience to create valuable content anymore. AI is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and the people winning right now are using it strategically. Think about it this way. You pick a niche, let's say productivity for remote workers. You use tools like Claude or ChatGPT to help you research, outline, and structure content. You use Midjourney or DALL-E to create custom graphics. You use Descript to edit video clips in minutes instead of hours. Then you package all of that into a digital product: a course, a template bundle, an ebook, a checklist library, and sell it on platforms like Gumroad, Kajabi, or your own Webflow site. Some of the people we've tracked who started this in early 2025 are now doing $15,000 to $50,000 per month in digital product revenue. They're not tech geniuses. They're not celebrity influencers. They're domain experts who learn to leverage AI. The upside? Once you create it, it sells while you sleep. The downside, initial investment in tools is real. You're looking at $200 to $500 per month for a good tech stack. And you need traffic. That's the unsexy part. You have to build an audience, whether that's through email, social media, or SEO. But here's what makes this different in 2026. Platforms like Mindvalley and Circle have built-in communities. You're not starting from zero. You're tapping into existing audiences hungry for knowledge. The people winning hardest right now are those who built their initial audience in 2024, understood their pain point deeply, and are now selling the solution to that pain point. Now let's talk about something that sounds old school but is absolutely crushing it in 2026: real estate wholesaling. A lot of people think real estate is out of reach. They hear mortgage rates, down payments, all that noise. Wholesaling flips the script. Here's how it works. You find distressed properties, foreclosures, probate sales, inherited homes, properties where the owner is desperate to sell, and you get them under contract below market value. Then you either sell that contract to an investor for a fee, or you find a buyer and take a commission in the middle. Your profit is the difference between what you have it under contract for and what it actually sells for. No money down, no rehab. You're just the connector. We know of people in mid-sized markets, places like Tulsa, Oklahoma, Des Moines, Iowa, places where people aren't competing as hard, who are closing 2 to 4 wholesale deals per month. Each deal is netting them $8,000 to $15,000. That's $96,000 to $180,000 per year on deals they found by driving neighborhoods, making calls, and building relationships with local real estate agents and investors. The tools have gotten so good in 2026. You can use platforms like Connected Investors or Bigger Pockets to find deal flow. You can use Real Data or PropStream to analyze properties. You can get contracts done through Law Depot for 50 bucks. The barrier is work, not money. The risk? This one requires thick skin. You'll get rejected. You'll have deals fall through. You need to understand how to analyze deals quickly and accurately. But here's why it's working now. Institutional investors are still hungry for deal flow. They're sitting on capital, especially with the Dow up 3.2% this month and confidence rising. They need people on the ground finding deals. If you're willing to hustle, this is incredibly profitable. Let's jump to side hustle number 3, high-ticket freelance services. This one's underrated because people think freelancing is saturated. It is, but only if you're competing on price. The people making real money are competing on expertise and results. Let's say you're a former marketer who understands how to grow B2B SaaS companies. You're not selling yourself on Fiverr for $50 an hour. You're positioning yourself as a growth consultant. You're charging $5,000 to $15,000 per month on a retainer to work with 3 to 5 SaaS founders who need to 10x their revenue. You're using your experience, your network, and your frameworks to deliver results that are worth 100 times your fee. The platforms for this have matured. TopTal connects high-skill freelancers with companies willing to pay premium rates. Upland has built out a whole ecosystem for this. But the real move? Positioning yourself on LinkedIn, building a small email list, and letting inbound leads come to you. People are paying premium prices right now in 2026 because good talent is expensive and hard to find. Anyone can code or write content. Not everyone can strategically scale a business. If you have that expertise, freelancing becomes a 6-figure side hustle fast. A freelancer we know who positions herself as a conversion rate optimization specialist for e-commerce brands is working 10 hours per week and making $180,000 per year. She's charging $3,000 per month for retainer clients. She has 6 of them. No sales team. No marketing budget. Just reputation and results. The time investment is high up front for positioning, but the payoff is unreal. Number 4 is fascinating because it's been proven over and over, but people still sleep on it. Niche community building and membership sites. Here's the insight. People don't want products. They want belonging. They want to be part of a group solving a problem together. So you identify a niche that's underserved, and I mean specific. Not entrepreneurs. How about bootstrapped female founders who are raising capital for the first time? Not fitness. How about postpartum fitness for women over 40? You build a community on Circle or Mighty Networks where those people gather. You create exclusive content, monthly workshops, peer-to-peer accountability, maybe some one-on-one coaching. You charge a membership fee. We're talking $29 to $99 per month for smaller communities, $299 plus per month for premium ones. A creator we tracked launched a membership community around building a personal brand as a freelancer. She started with 0 members. Within 18 months, she had 340 members paying her $49 per month. That's $1,660 in monthly recurring revenue. And the beautiful part? She's spending maybe 20 hours per week on it once it got rolling. Membership businesses are sticky revenue. People renew every month. You can forecast your income. You can build partnerships where you're promoting each other's communities. The risk? You need an audience or a way to build one. It takes 3 to 6 months to get real momentum. But the long-term stability beats almost any other side hustle. In 2026, community-based income is proven and people are paying for it. Finally, number 5. Micro SaaS development. This is for people who can code or are willing to learn. A SaaS, software as a service, is just a tool people pay for monthly. Instead of building something massive, you build something small and specific. You identify a problem that a small group of people has, and that they're willing to pay to solve. Then you build the simplest version possible and ship it. Let me give you an example. Someone we know built a tool that helps Etsy sellers manage inventory across multiple stores. It took him 4 weeks to build. He charges $29 per month. He's now at 60 paying customers. That's $2,700 per year in recurring revenue, and he spends maybe 5 hours per month maintaining it. The platforms making this easier in 2026 are incredible. No-code tools like Bubble and Flutterwave mean you don't even need to code anymore. Stripe integration is 2 clicks. Payment processing is handled. He found his audience through Reddit, Facebook groups, and TikTok. He posted about his problem, people engaged. He launched with a 2-week wait list, and it grew from there. The barrier here is technical skill, or willingness to learn it. The time commitment is real upfront. But the payoff? Passive recurring revenue from a tiny audience. Scale it to 500 customers at $99 per month, and you're at nearly $600,000 in annual revenue with minimal overhead. Some of the fastest growing micro SaaS businesses started exactly this way. The risk is building something nobody wants to buy. But that's fixable if you validate before you build. Talk to potential customers. Make sure the problem is real. Make sure they'll actually pay. Now here's the thing. All 5 of these work. But they don't all work for you. So how do you choose? Ask yourself 3 questions. First, what's my starting position? Do I have an existing audience? Do I have expertise in a specific field? Do I have capital to invest? If you have an audience and expertise, go with high-ticket freelancing or AI-powered content products. If you have capital and time, go with real estate wholesaling. If you're technical, micro SaaS is the move. If you have passion for building community and connecting people, that membership site is calling your name. Second, what's my risk tolerance? Wholesaling requires some hustle and rejection. Micro SaaS requires technical skill. High-ticket freelancing requires existing credibility. Choose the one that matches your tolerance. Third, what's my timeline? Do you need money in the next 30 days? Freelancing. Do you have 3 to 6 months? Content products or wholesaling? Do you have a year? Community or micro SaaS? Time compounds the value of what you build. Here's the reality check. Side hustles aren't magic. They require work. They require strategy. They require showing up consistently when results aren't obvious yet. Some of these will fail for you. That's okay. The people winning right now aren't afraid to fail because they know the worst thing that happens is you learn something and try again. You've got tools in 2026 that billionaires didn't have 10 years ago. You've got AI. You've got global platforms. You've got communities. You've got access. The only thing you don't have is time, and that's something everyone shares equally. So the real question is, what are you going to do with yours? If you're serious about building multiple income streams, if you're tired of the traditional path, if you want to actually build wealth instead of just talking about it, pick one. Just one. This week, not next month, not next year, this week, do 1 hour of research. Have one conversation with someone doing it. Make one move. That's how this starts. Drop a comment and tell me which side hustle you're going to explore first. And if you want us to do a deep dive into any of these 5, let us know. Subscribe if you're ready to actually build wealth instead of just thinking about it. Your future self will thank you.